Good day, everybody. How are you all doing today? Well, welcome to the first leg of our new series on Wednesdays, our general aviation series. In this series, we're going to be flying the old Route 66, running from Chicago all the way up to California. It's going to be done over a couple dozen legs, and we're going to see the sights along the way. And the neat thing about doing it at this time of day is we can do live time and live weather. So it is rather cloudy, but it's still VFR. Clouds are around 3,000 feet. So we're at Chicago Midway Airport. Route 66 actually starts in downtown Chicago, and that's where we're going to head off when we start. We're going to head over there, circle around downtown Chicago, see the sights from the air, and then we'll follow the route out as best as I can track it. And we're going to be heading down towards Bloomington, Illinois, which is southwest of here, about an hour or so by air. So let's jump on board. We're flying this old liveried Cessna 172, and does have the G1000 in it, but we won't be using that today. That's all good. Current weather here in Chicago, just so everybody is aware. I'll do my usual and throw it into the chat. Let me just grab it here. And there we go. It'll pop up in the chat now. Winds are 270 at 16, gusting 25, so it's a bit breezy out. 10 miles visibility, broken cloud at 3,200 with a broken layer at 5,000 and broken again at 15,000. So it's not too bad. 29er, 69er is the barometer on the live weather there. And there's the chat into Twitch as well. Alright, so let's hop on board and we can get this thing fired up. I can hear that wind blowing there. Okay, so fuel lever's in. That's set there. I'll turn on the batteries. Get the avionics 1 up and running. There we go. Kill the warning. We're going to go full on the mixture, crack the throttle 1/4 inch, put the beacon and nav lights on, a little bit on the fuel pumps, prime the engine. There we go. And we're good to start.
TOS system test. Okay.
There. Aircraft is up and running. We'll get the second avionics up. So I'm going to set a cruise altitude of, we'll go 2,000 feet. Should be high enough. We can adjust as we go from there. We do want to be down low, see the sights. And that's where we are. I'll put in our destination just as a reference point. But we're really not going to be using it per se. So we are at Kilo. Bravo, or that's where we're headed. Bravo, Mike, India. There it is, Central Illinois Regional Airport at Bloomington. So hit enter, enter. That's just going to give us our tracking route, but we'll be doing a lot of VFR flying as we go. Yeah, bus the Class B. That's the issue with where we are. We're just where is O'Hare from here? Pretty much due north, slightly west of north. So that would be an interesting thing to get called out for, but we'll bring up the winds. There we are, 16 gusting slightly. Oh, no, that's not what I want. Option 3, back, and transponder. We're VFR. We'll go altitude, put that back, get rid of that. I think we're pretty much good to go. So we'll put the taxi lights on. Fuel pump's off. Everything's good there. And let's see who we got here. I got a few people. Alright, so we'll get the parking brake off. And we're going to go down to runway 31 left. So it's not too far. Just come around a little bit of equipment they've left sitting out here. There we go. Hey Kevin, how are you doing? So we're just going to turn up here onto Kilo, then Foxtrot, and that will take us over to 31 left. So I hope you've all had a good day at midweek. Hope everything's going well for you. So I think we've got Talia, I think we got Pat, and not sure who else is with us. If you are flying, sound off in the chat, just so I know. We'll turn down Foxtrot here. Let's get back on the center line. We got wind pushing us around. You know, excuses. Alright, so the glide path is looking... Oh, Duck Magic. Excellent. Good to see you. Alright, let's, we'll move out. Get ourselves ready to go. So landing lights and strobe lights are now on. Throw in a notch of flap for takeoff. Oh, there's Duck Magic. Oh, Pat's in the caravan. Okay. Didn't tell you. So we're going to take off. We'll make a right-hand turn out over the airport, climbing up to 2,000 feet, and we'll head to downtown Chicago. Alright. We've got a slight crosswind that's going to be coming off the left. And by slight, I mean 16 knots. There's full power. Putting in some left aileron to keep the wings level. Prevent that wing from getting lifted up. And up we go. Set our trim. Set barometer. There we go. Get a bit of a climb going. And we'll make the turn. Flaps up. Snowy day out here in Chicago. There's downtown. where we're heading for. So we're going to go into vertical speed mode. Just get ourselves up to that 2,000 feet. And we'll get a look at Chicago. So it is saying the Chicago temperature was 5 degrees, which is kind of rare for this time of year. Chicago gets very cold. Taxi and landing lights are now off. There's 2,000 feet coming up. I'll bring the power back to 2350 just to allow everybody a chance to formate and keep up with me. So Route 66 was turned into the major route getting from the eastern part of the U.S. or the central part of the U.S. out to California before the interstates were built in the 1950s. And it was really a collection of roads that became codified into a designated highway in 1929 and fell out of use, by the 70s. After the interstates had taken over and all the traffic seemed to move by that. There's still sections of it around now that you can drive, but it's not one continuous route anymore. That's all kind of gone by the wayside. We're going to fly over downtown Chicago. The actual start point, there is a placard there. It's about a quarter mile up from the shoreline, and it would be the starting point of where we would fly from. Nice little bit of smoke coming off the power station there. I do have the mod for all the extra little VFR bits of scenery and stuff, so we'll see what we see over the series as it comes up. So here's downtown Chicago. There's the rail yards. Some of the more famous buildings, Sears Tower and other more modern buildings. Here's the famous Meigs Field, well-known staple for flight sim like 2004 and all that stuff, and 99 or 98. Illegally ordered destroyed by the mayor of Chicago after 9/11. He didn't like it. He wanted to turn it into a park. And he just ordered it destroyed and ended up having to pay a heavy fine from the FAA for destroying an active airfield, but he got his way. There's the skyline. Oop, that's not what I want to be doing. Get back up to 2,000 feet. That's what I want to be doing. Fly back over Chicago. This is a neat little place. You can go down. There's all kinds of restaurants and amusements on it. A little pier type of thing. A lot of shipping coming into the harbor there. So we're going to kind of head straight downtown. There's the famous Chicago River that they turn green on St. Patrick's Day. So we're going to head... well, exactly. Meeks Field was famous, and there's a huge outcry when they did it. And yeah, a lot of people weren't happy. So we'll just slide in between the towers here. I believe this one here is the Sears Tower. And there's some more modern ones up and around. And there's that river. So the starting point for Route 66 is over here somewhere. Bit of bounce around. It's called the Windy City because with the wind coming in from the west getting channeled down these streets, the winds start howling. It's like having a whole bunch of canyons. Alright, so we're gonna head south here. This is going to take us down as we start heading down the route. And there's the big train yard that we saw when we came in. So let's get us heading off here. So we're going to be following what is now Interstate 55, and this would have been the path that the route left Chicago. Another one of these rivers coming in. Yeah, Chicago's a huge train hub, that's for sure. I've never been to Chicago. There are a couple things I'd like to see there. For years I said I wasn't going to go because of what they did in the flight sim world. And destroying Meeks Field. There's the airport we took off, that's Chicago Midway. And O'Hare is up over that way. See lights there. We'll follow along here. This is taking us southwest. We slowly work our way out of Chicago. It is pretty overcast right now. It's February day. tracking multiple maps here. Another power station there below us. It's going to be a pretty leisurely flight here, given our low ground speed. It's like a freight sidings. Yeah, Chicago, O'Hare's big for connecting flights. Especially international, for a lot of places. If you want to, instead of like flying Toronto to Frankfurt or Toronto to Zurich or something, you fly to Chicago and then go direct from there. So the airport's covered by I guess this is housing. Yeah, it looks like housing on 3 sides. So the original route, the highway wouldn't have been here. It would have jotted down slightly and then come across. But we're going to cross the river up here. Water treatment center. More residential housing out here in the suburbs of Chicago. A little bit of sun coming through. You see as we get a little bit narrower here on the river, she's starting to freeze up. That's a pretty cool effect. Yeah, coming in over the lake. That would be a very, well, especially if you're the pilot, very cool view. So we're just going to keep following the interstate, which is pretty much the route they would have taken. So we'll make the turn here along the river. Want to see what this pit here is, if I can figure it out. It doesn't really say. That looks like a stone mine or a gravel mine. Sure what this, well, this might be the same type of thing. Some type of industry along here anyway. It's got a fuel storage facility here. Turn a little bit westward, and we're going to follow the interstate here. Definitely getting it into the further suburbs. A little bit of music in the background. A little community of Burr Ridge coming up. Hey, Kevin. Nice to see you managed to join in. This is like the community center and business center for Burr Ridge, which kind of encompasses this area over here. Just turning with the highway at the moment. So shortly we're going to be leaving the interstate and heading off on some of the smaller roads. Again, following the route that the original Highway 66 had, or as close as we can get it. Well, I hope you're enjoying the snowy sights of Illinois. You can see the leg's not far. I mean, we're straight mile 88 miles. We're not going straight miles, so make it 100. But our ground speed's under 100, so the leg will be a little bit under, or a little bit over an hour. Which I think is pretty good for a sightseeing flight. Nice little smoke coming off the stacks over there. Loving the pink Cessna, which is really annoying because that's the same paint scheme I'm running, and I don't know why it's doing that. Oh well. Not much you can do. Still tracking the interstate at the moment. Well, not for much longer. We're going to divert right after that. This is Interstate 355, which would be when you get into the triple-digit interstates, they're usually secondaries or bypasses. So Interstate 355, I think it's a connector between two different interstates, bypassing central Chicago. Yeah, it'll be something to do with the actual livery. It's a texture issue for LOD. So, not a big deal. It's just annoying that that still happens. I won't see it because I'm in this. It's me, my airplane. It's when you're looking at the other ones when the model tries to bring it up. Nice Canadian registration on the airplane, by the way. This is why I'm kind of flying it. So you see this road here heading off. We're going to be following that road. And we're going to follow that road down and then to the south. Yeah, I've heard that, Dark. I don't know how to change that or if you can change that. So, not exactly sure. So we're going to turn now. We're going to start following this little secondary road. We're heading down towards the town of Joliet. So if anyone here has watched the movie The Blues Brothers, you'll remember Jake Elwood had the nickname Joliet Jake. That's because he was in prison at Joliet, the jail there, the state jail. And that's where he got the nickname from. Of course, the Blues Brothers was based in Chicago. Yeah, I just don't know what to change, though. Maybe if you want to put it on the Discord, I'll take a look at it later. Yeah, Dark Fury, tech support, as Gavin would say. So we're leaving the, Chicago area proper. Now heading out to, again, the smaller towns and cities that surround it. Typical housing development down here. There in the distance we can see the Joliet Regional Airport. Just going to fly to the eastern side of it. Oh no, so that's not the regional airport. That's a smaller, might be Lockport. Oh, thanks, Stark. Appreciate that. And we're basically following the waterway that's just off to our left as well. We got some snow falling south of us. Again, the live weather, live time makes it interesting, especially when we get further west, when it'll be mid-morning flights, and the weather will be a lot nicer. It's the town of Lockport off to our left. Definitely kind of running under that cloud layer.
Everybody's looking for a change
As
right
you can
now.
see Joliet
Dreaming of
ahead of
being
us.
able to pay for upgrades or renovations without taking on that financial burden. Just think about it. We renovated 3 years ago, but it still feels like there's a million things I'd like to do today. A Flexi line by Capital Direct allows you to manage your resources more effectively. Whether you could use 50,000, 1.5 million, or even 3 million, that cash is available to you. Call Capital Direct.
And we're going to
today.
basically just be following the highway south out of Joliet. I think the road across the river, the series of bridges here. Definitely a wintry day. Kind of days you just want to stay indoors, curl up. Although, again, the weather was saying it was fairly warm, but I don't know, I find that hard to believe. Well, I will say it's been a little bit warmer here as well. Alright, well there's the road we're going to be following. Heading south, so we're going to bank over the river. River's going to head southwest. Follow the road. This is the Chicago train yard where they'll bring in all the freight trains to do all the switching. A little bit of a weather update there. Interesting building. It shows up on my maps as well, although it doesn't say what it is. See if I can find it. Ah, that is the IKEA distribution center, I believe. Oh no, sorry, Chicagoland Speedway. We just flew over the IKEA distribution center. That's a racetrack for car racing. Little airport by the looks of it. Under the snow. The rail yards over there. Yeah, we're gonna follow the highway. See, we're heading out over farmland now. I follow road. Yep. IFR. Roads, rivers, and rail are the three that I've heard. Okay, so that wasn't an airport, although it kind of looked like one. It was actually the Route 66 raceway, so I'm going to assume that's a drag strip, given it had that long, straight stretch there. Interesting. So we are currently flying by this area here, which is the Joliet Army Training Area, U.S. Army Training Center. And we're coming up to an interesting little thing in a second. Let's see where we are. Yeah. That. So I believe this facility here is the Abraham Lincoln National Cemetery. Yeah, you can see where the past and where all the grave markers would be. Another train yard, intermodal train yard. Turn south, following the road. We're now heading down towards the town of Wilmington. Kind of heading due south at the moment. That's Wilmington right there, and keeping an eye on where we're headed. We're going to be making a turn here in a second. And then down here is one site Gavin likes to point out on his GA flights. There's a McDonald's down there. But we're going to turn to follow the road through Wilmington. Cross back over that river. You can see it there. keep following the road. We're now heading on a southwesterly course. We're going to be coming over a set of lakes called the Shadow Lakes. And then over the town of Braidwood. Looking for the lakes. Coming up shortly. Probably going to be frozen over. Starting to get hungry. Here are the lakes. You can make out the water there on both sides of the road. And then this is the town of Braidwood. Very flat here. We're kind of we're not into the western plains yet, but the land sure has flattened out. You know, sports complex, like baseball diamonds and probably a soccer field. A lot of water around this town. Very nice. More of those dark clouds behind us. Seems to be a little bit lighter off in the direction we're headed. Some type of man-made. Almost call it a lake. Man-made lake.
Credits where homeowners get approved. Hi, I'm interested in a loan. How are you different? Well, traditional lenders focus on salary, credit scores, and length of employment. But we just look at the equity you have in your home. Oh, so do you own your home? Sure do. You're approved.
So this is the town of Braceville. You can see there's the Interstate 55 running along there. And of course, once the interstates were built, it drew a lot of the traffic off of the back roads, the more minor roads, causing a lot of places to shut down or dwindle in size. Kind of the theme of the original Cars movie, where Radiator Springs used to be a bustling town, and they brought in the interstate, and then traffic just went right by them, and it became a little sleepy place. Yeah, it could be Ty. Yeah. You can see how flat the land is here. That'll change later on in the series when we get into the deserts and the mountains. But looks like the clouds are starting to break up a little bit anyway. Got some sunshine. Yeah, it really is. It's one of the things on my list to do now that I've got the new bike, is to go ride Route 66 from Chicago down to California, and then really come up the California coast all the way up to Vancouver. Well, California, Oregon, and Washington. This is Gardner, Illinois. See, we're going to pick up Interstate 55 on the other side of Gardner here. They kind of come together again. So the interstate on this section bypasses the town, so you'll see it loop off. Route 66 goes through the towns, as you can see down below here. So we'll be following the interstate, but we'll see the interstate loop around, but we'll be flying straight over the towns, because the interstate, it was basically the main streets of the towns where it rolled through. I do like these small American towns that you run into. Big cities, not so much, but the small towns are really something to see. And we're definitely getting into farm country here. Looking on a couple maps, it's nothing but, gridded concession roads, which is outlining all the farms. Or the farmers' fields, anyway. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sure it had major impacts. Fortunately on the bike I tend to do a lot of secondary roads. The interstates or main highways if I have to get somewhere in a day, but if I've got the time and stuff, I'll take the back roads. They're much nicer rides, and the small towns, like I said, are really cool to drop into and visit. But for anyone who hasn't already, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, hit the like button. Sharing the videos is always good as well. Following over on Twitch if you are so inclined. Also have a Discord. All my flights on live streams are multiplayer or VATSIM based community flights, and everyone is welcome to come and join in. So you'll find the link to the Discord channel in both the YouTube and the Twitch chat. Come and say hi. We've got a few people flying with us today. See them all over here as we're heading down. And you get a little bit of history lesson, seeing the sights, and just flying in a place that maybe you wouldn't normally fly. This is the town of Dwight coming up. You can see the interstate doing its bypass loop around it. But again, we're going to stick to the old Route 66 and fly directly over the town. I used to listen to a radio station. I think they were out in North Bay. When I drive up, when my buddy of mine was posted up there with the Army, when the base was up there, used to go, I guess the base is still there, it's not as big as it used to be, but we used to go, I used to go visit, and once we got up into that area, I remember listening to a radio station there. So I'm not sure what the crop would be predominantly out here, if it's grains or cattle. I'm assuming it's more grain based, since we don't really have the rolling hills that you get with a lot of cattle. So that's the Aldi distribution center. Aldi would be a well-known name to you guys over in Europe. I guess they have Aldi in the States too. Did not know that. German supermarket chain, I believe. I mean, even on Google Maps, this road here that Doc Magic's flying over is listed as historic Route 66. That's pretty cool. Oh, goodbye, Dwight. It's kind of easy to tell when the next town comes up because you got the bulge of the bypass. Yeah, I've been in there as well. Pretty interesting place to visit. Hello, Brian. How are you? Hope you're well. Definitely flat as far as you can see. No, I'm sure it would be. Yeah. Bit of a wind farm over here. So there's a landmark listed on Google Maps, which I want to point out. Kind of gives you an indicator of small town life, what they find as important. Odell, Illinois. So this is the Interstate 55 doing its bypass. This is Route 66 coming up, and it does a bypass of the town as well. And then you get the main street that goes through. So it's interesting they've got two bypasses for one small little town. But I want to try to stay on the east side of the road. Hopefully I'll be able to pick out the landmark. I know roughly where it is.
Dentist-inspired round brush head with gentle micro vibrations for a clean that'll Exactly. Get the wow of a professional cleaner feel every day with the Oral-B
Never made it to the
iO.
Deacon bunker, but I did do a course in Borden where we
Oral-B.
stayed in the
Just like a
Ontario
pro.
government bunker up in Borden, and spent 3 weeks living in the bunker because they had no other accommodations for us. It's rather interesting. All right, so this is Odell Grade School District 435, but that's not what we're concerned with. Somewhere over in this little block, I'm not sure which building it is, I think it's up here, is the Standard Oil of Illinois gas station. Yep, it's on Google Maps, and it's one of the few things that pop up for Odell. Must be very proud of their gas station. And there goes Odell. And you can see both the interstate and Route 66 coming back together as we continue on. So we got another airport coming up. More importantly, we have a golf course right here. It's the Wolf Creek Golf Course. Hey, Oki. Spitfire flights are done. We concluded last week when we flew to the birthplace of the Spitfire down at Southampton. This is the new series for general aviation. We're flying Route 66 from Chicago out to California. So here's the golf course. There's the airport. That's Pontiac Municipal Airport. And this is Route 66 now, heading down this way, veering off from Route 55. As Interstate 55 goes around Pontiac, Michigan. No, Pontiac, Illinois. And we're going to carry on down here. We're going to kind of jog through the town and get back over to where the interstate is. Yeah, okay, it's something different. We haven't done a lot of GA flying down here in the States, and I thought for its historical significance it'd be fun to fly it. I am planning on doing a bike trip on it as well, so this is a good chance for me to see it from the air, as it were. So there's another airport. Where is it? Somewhere down over here. There's a small little airport. I think it's more of a private field type of thing. We're going to kind of jog over in here. We're going to pick up the interstate, which you can see on the other side. There's the town of Pontiac. So we're coming up here on this curve. We're going to connect with the main roads inside Pontiac. A little bit of a turn here. And then we're going to kind of pick up on this highway down here, which is Highway 116. I'm going to take this back over to the interstate. Yeah, dark, I wouldn't mind doing that, except that YouTube would probably take the stream down, unfortunately. Gotta be really careful with copyright music. You'll even notice there's one movie I play, one of the Italian science fiction movies, where if there's about a minute and a half where they play a classical piece, and that's got a copyright thing on it. So that section gets blanked out on the streams whenever that movie's on. Rather annoying. So we're flying over the Hampton Inn Hotel. That's below us, and we're here at I-55, so we're gonna make the turn to follow it. Follow it down for a bit. Nah, see, I'd have to fight for it, and it's no point. I mean, even the music guys who examine the music and do stuff with it, like Rick Beato and that, the fights they get into when they're trying to help promote the song and promote the artist by saying what's so good about the song, and the fights they have with the publishing companies. Ridiculous at times. So Route 66 is back on the interstate area. And we're following this down towards a little town called, or we're just west of a town called Chenoa. And that's coming up. And I'm just going back and forth checking my maps. And once again, we can see the bypasses, which means we're coming up for a town. still following the I-55.
Everybody's looking for a change right now, dreaming of being able to pay for upgrades or renovations without taking on that financial burden. Just think about
Generally
it,
speaking,
renovated 3 years ago, but it
interstates
still feels like
that
there's a million
are
things I'd like to
even
do
numbers
today.
run
Flexi
east to
Line by
west.
Capital Direct allows you to
Interstates
manage
that are
your
odd
resources
numbers are
more
basically
effectively.
north to
Whether you
south,
use
like the
50 minutes,
I-95
1.5
runs
million, or
north to
even
south.
3 million. That
The
coverage is
I-20 and
available
I-40
today.
run
Call Capital
east to
Direct
west.
today at 1-800-NEW-CAPITAL.
If they have 3 digits, they're generally bypass or connector interstates, such as when we were around Chicago there, the I-355, kind of a bypass around Chicago. And yeah, so you can tell if you're going to be on the I-90 or the I-40, the I-20. They're east to west interstates. So there's Chenoa. Next town coming up is Lexington. Interesting little landmark coming up before the bypass. It's the Illinois State University Farm. So I guess for the Illinois agriculture program, it's a test farm. Starting to get some color in the clouds as the sun's starting to go down. Well, they're an hour behind where I am, so it's only 2:45 there in the afternoon. So there's the test farm right there, that complex of buildings. And you can tell we're in farm country because listed on one of the on Google Maps is one of the stores and stuff, although it's out on this side of town, the far side, is Anvil brand world's best hoof care store. So I guess I do got a lot of cattle in the area. So we're starting to get into a lot of farming supplies and farming services. Yep, you can see where you would have farm plots down here for doing crop testing, and so there's some smaller ones around here as well. a bit of a course adjustment. Keep following the highways. We're going to pick up the interstate again on the other side. And we're getting close. Bloomington's just ahead. I can see airport lights in the distance. We'll give Bloomington an overfly before we head in. So in case you're ever wondering and have to go there, there's Annabelle. If you have to get your hoof care supplies, you can head in. Tell them Digital sent you as we flew over. Very, very quiet. Although we got some sunny patches coming up, so at least the METAR we looked at was sort of accurate, so it's a little bit better. So we're going to be landing on the western runway. Winds are out of the west. See 13 gusting 20, 10-mile visibility. Broken clouds at 6,500. Broken clouds 11,004 degrees, so slightly cooler. 2978 for the barometer, but we're going to fly in. We'll take a look at the town and then head to the airport. So we've got a little bypass here. This is a little town called Tawanda. Just on the outskirts, you can see the town there. Looks like we're starting to get out of the snow. I can see some greenery out there. Here's the town coming up. Everything's snow covered here, but clearing up a little bit. So if you're in need of a drink and something to eat, you can always come to Kick's Bar and Grill, which is located right down here. Just at the divergence here of this is, not sure what this is. I think that's the train line. There's Kick's Bar and Grill right there. There's Route 66, kind of going around the town. And we got Bloomington all in here. And there's the airport on the eastern side of town. But we'll go in, fly over, take a look, and then head for the airport. circle the town, come in underneath the airport on the south side, and go into like a left pattern for landing. Little sports area there, some baseball diamonds. Must be a school. It's the Norman Community High School, the little town of Norman over here, and then this is Bloomington down here. So the I-55, which runs northeast to southwest, kind of intersects with the I-74 running northwest to southeast, and they kind of do this box around Bloomington here. These buildings seem a little out of place. Not sure they're actually that high in real life.
Hi, I'm Pat Brett, a reporter of the Local Magazine. On my new podcast, Wind of Change, I investigate a rumor I've had been reshaped since I first heard it years ago.
Alright, we turn the radio off now. We're coming in for our landing. Well, this may be the business district. I believe that's the rail line. Comes in, and I guess there's a junction yard or station in here. We came in from all four directions, kind of northeast, northwest, east, and southwest. Maybe the buildings are there. I don't know. They seem a little bit large. So they got a little bit of snow. So we'll fly over the buildings here, and then we'll head south. South part of the field here, or under the south part of the field. So south we go. So the airport elevation is, what is it? 871 feet. So we're just above what would be circuit height at 1900. So that's good. We're going to be landing on runway 29er, and it's 6,500 foot departure. We're then going to taxi all the way down to Delta. And we'll take Delta into the general aviation ramp and the FBO there at the northwest end of the airport. Alright, so we're getting in there, so we're going to throw on our landing lights. Everything is looking good. Airport is over that way. See the control tower there. It could be the business area, business district, and then down here in Bloomington, it's all the residential. All right. Time to turn eastward. It's my 2.9, so it's going to be a 20-degree variance. So we'll go to 110 for our far out downwind, but that's fine. It'll help us get all set up. And the airport is off to the side. Enjoying the low-level flying here. There we go. There's the airport. And again, we got to watch the winds gusting up to 20, but fairly bad. It's going to be 30-degree left crosswind, so there'll be a little bit of a push. We should be okay. So there's the airport. That's the north-south runway. See how much better the weather's gotten. It's just cleared up a little bit. Alright, so there we are, halfway. So I'm going to start doing our checks. So landing lights are on. Mixture is fully rich. Can start coming back on the power. Autopilot disengaged. Start bringing the speed back. That first notch of flaps in. We'll start turning since we do have a little bit of distance to cover. Line this up as a reference. 290 roughly. And first notch of flaps. We want to trim our speed to about 65. Don't want to get too much below that because of the gusting. Alright, so we're now on our base leg. Looking for the airport runway, which is right there. See the lights. Speed's good. Keeping our altitude. Let her start to come down. Start a slow turn in. Wind's going to make our ground speed a little bit low, so I don't mind being high because we've got time to get down. So there's the runway. And slowly start coming down. Bringing it on an angle. Settle. Slowly come around. And we're about 800 feet. There's illuminated windsock, but I don't know if there are PAPI lights. Not seeing anything at the moment. So we're just going to do it visually, keeping the touchdown area roughly in the same position as we come down. That means we're aiming towards it. 600 feet. bit more power, going to 20 on the flaps. That's our landing flaps are set. Let the speed come up. Alright, we're a little low.
500.
Retrim it. Six and a half thousand feet. I mean, we're not hurting for distance here. Looking good. Slight crab. There's the windsock. Keep the crab in until we just about to flare. Eyes to the horizon. Let her come down. Start pulling power. Drop the wing. And we're down. Keeping a little bit of aileron, keep that wing down because we do got the crosswind coming in from that side. And we'll run up to Delta here. Leaving the flaps out until we get clear. There's Delta. I don't know why that said Bravo. There we go. Alright, coming across, we'll get those up with landing lights off, strobe lights off, taxi light on. I'm going to go straight ahead. Take us through here to the FBO and the general aviation ramp. There's everybody else coming in. Very nice. There's a marshaller there for us. Well, welcome to Bloomington, Illinois. Our first stop on our Route 66 tour. Wintry day. Not too cold, but certainly windy and cloudy, that's for sure. The wind's coming out of that flat prairies and plains. What do they call them? The plains down here in the States. Prairies up in Canada, same area of land. Alright, let's get us around. There's Mr. Marshaller, and we will stop. So parking brake's on. The taxi light can come off. Bring the engine up to 1,000 RPMs. This not only helps with cooling, but it pulls oil out of the sump. Make sure it's all splashed around the engine because it's going to be sitting for a little bit of time. There we go. And we can pull the mixture. And it's beacon strobes. Avionics are off. Aircraft power is off. Fantastic. So what do you find? It's either the Spitfire or the Messerschmitt. Can't tell. If it's either or the Hurricane, but you should be showing up. I mean, the aircraft are in the sim, so Kevin, I'm not sure what it is you're flying or why it didn't work, but that's fine. Alright, let's get the view. We'll get ours all lined up here. Having arrived here in Bloomington. Well, thank you very much for joining us on the first leg. Enjoy your week in Bloomington. We'll see you next Wednesday when we carry on from here to the next leg on the destination. Hope you had fun, and we'll see you all on the next one. Oh, you're flying the 170? Send me the link, Kevin. Send me the link so I can get it in so we can see you. Take care, and we'll see you hopefully on Friday when we're down in the Caribbean again. Take care. Bye for now.